So Arsenal are back in action tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. against Fulham. And we've been listening to Arteta's press conference and he's had a few things to say. We got injury updates. We got how he's feeling on the game and he's got some thoughts on Victor Gyokeres. And then obviously we'll round up with my thoughts and line up on the game. So look, before we get into anything, if you are new to the channel, please like, please subscribe, please join the journey. Yeah, we're trying to get a lot of things done over these sides on our road to 10k. Now, spoiler alert, Premier League's back. I've missed it, and I know you guys have as well. And Arteta's kind of given us, as Arsenal fans, I guess, a bit of hope in regards to players coming back. Now, look, Martin Odegaard, we all know, knee injury is very unfortunate for him, very unlucky. Arteta himself actually calls it very unlucky as well with what's happening with him. However, he wasn't able to give a specific date on his return. He did say a few weeks. He did also say it looks like it could be something that happens after the November international break. But hey, you never know. Because a lot of our players that have gone out, we've expected them to be out for a while. And then you start hearing sneaky little rumours about they might be back. And then you see them back. A great example of that is Bukayo Saka. There's been loads of times he's been injured. I thought he's going to be out for a while. And then he comes like 2, 3, 4 weeks earlier than what was expected. Now, another person that has been kind of riddled with injury for a while is Ben White. And this is what Arteta says about Ben White, yeah? Yes, very similar. We are monitoring all the players and give a specific menu to each of them to make sure that they are in the best condition. Doesn't really give away anything. I mean, you can read between the lines and be like, cool, he was asked about Odegaard just before that. And he did say with Odegaard a few weeks. So maybe he's saying with Ben White a few weeks as well. But I have seen a few people across the internet say that Ben White could be back for this game. I don't know where they're getting that from. I definitely didn't get that feeling or vibe from Arteta. Or maybe Arteta's doing that thing where he likes to hide his lineup and keep Marco Silva thinking. So we could actually see Ben White appear on the bench, but I would be very, very surprised if he gets back to any footballing action any time soon. A bit of good news, a bit of great news. Hincapie has been confirmed that he's back. And Arteta actually says, yeah, he will be in training today. Again with us. Which means he's been training. So he's going to be training again for those that can't, you get me, you know what I'm saying? And if everything is right, he will be available as well. Now, this is a fantastic piece of news because I won't lie to anyone, and obviously Arsenal fans in the comments below, let me know. But I completely forgot that we had him. I'll be so real. Like, I was just thinking, yeah, our defense is so crazy at the moment. And then I went, Hincapie, I started seeing pictures like Hincapie, shit, Hincapie plays for my team. Oh my God. My defense is already cold. It's already the best. And then they're like, Hincapie is joining in as well. And look, Arteta had some really, really good words to say about Hincapie as well. Yeah, we really want that. So this is obviously the chance for him to regularly play. Yeah, he's that player that is going to help us a lot. He's going to bring something different to the team. We need to get him going, get to the speed that is necessary to compete at this level and gradually get him to where we want. He also spoke about how he did contact Xabi Alonso when it came to thinking about signing Piero Hincapie, and Xabi Alonso was full of good words. And Arteta obviously goes on to go, obviously his role in the team. What you're going to see is his aggression, his determination. He's a player who goes full gas to every single action. The exact type of player that Arteta loves. That's what Arteta loves. I'll be real, I love it as well. Give me everything in every action, in all minutes, all seconds of every single game. Especially in defending. And with the ball, whether he plays a left centre back or a full back, a player who is very clean on the ball, very clean. He's also very good at delivery as well. Again, someone who really wants to penetrate, whether it's with the ball, his positioning, and it will bring a different character and emotion to the team. I don't think people understand, how dangerous Hincapie is going to be when he plays fullback. I don't think people have fully comprehended what is actually going to happen, because Hincapie at left back actually allows Eza to be a lot more effective when playing from the left-hand side, because he could pretty much spend the whole game in central areas, because Hincapie the whole time, he'd be like, yo, Ebbs, allow it. I'm going out wide. You go inside, going up and down, balls getting whipped in, all of that, attacking. Imagine that, our fullback attacking their fullback. That's what's going to happen. So I'm very excited to see Hincapie actually get a good run of form in the Arsenal team. And obviously Madueke, Arteta spoke about getting closer as well. He's going to start very soon to do some running and stuff. And then again, let's see how he reacts. So hopefully soon he's going to be doing a bit more intense training. Hopefully nothing bad comes from that. Hopefully he sails through that, can get back on the pitch, get involved in the team play, all of that, the drills, and then hopefully back on the pitch. Again, no date was given of when he should return or could possibly return. So I guess we just have to assume that let's just be kind before the November international break. Yeah, I'm gassed. And then obviously he spoke a bit about Kai Havertz, but Kai Havertz, we're quite some way from that. There has been a lot of talk about how he's doing a lot of stuff. The rehab's going really well. Obviously we saw the video come out, but again, we want to protect him, and Arteta does say that himself. We want to protect him because the injury he got is very easy for it to pull up again, and then we're all sitting here thinking, Victor Gyokeres, you kind of just got to do it yourself. you got no one there to help you. Do you know what I mean? So look, he does speak a bit about Fulham as well, because obviously, you know, he was asked about getting a win at Fulham for the first time since 2023, which, I mean, in the grand scheme of things is not actually that far away. But he actually says near enough word for word what I say when it comes to thinking about this Fulham game, which is, Newcastle, very good example. West Ham as well. In the last 2 seasons as well, we lost against them at home. So that's an opportunity tomorrow. We know that it's a really tough place to go to. Yeah, we know. A very well-coached team, and we're going to have to be at our best tomorrow. So he's acknowledging that Fulham, a bit tricky for us, but we've had other kind of hoodoos, I like to call them, and we've slayed them. So hey, I just see this as another one to slay, and I think Arteta also sees it as another one to slay as well. He talks very highly of our defensive record, and I think that's something that's going to be kind of the linchpin to like how well we do in this game. I don't think Fulham are really ready for how good we are at the moment. Defensively, our defensive record is absolutely insane. We've only conceded 1 open play goal all season. That's in all competitions. So it's going to be a tough task for them to break down. And, you know, he also talks about, you know, the preparations, you know, for the Fulham game. And he goes, well, you always learn from that. It's true that at the end, they will have certain new players, the state of the teams and where we are. It is different to last season as well. They've got a few injuries, so they're not really coming to play with their strongest 11, so that does play a factor as well. And then the context of the game changes, especially last year, immediately when we are in total control of the game and in one moment we concede the goal and then it's a different game to be played. But we learn from it. Obviously, we want to make it different, especially the results that we had in the last few years, and do our best to achieve it. With our defensive kind of, I guess, record or prowess we have at the moment, I can't foresee us giving away a stupid goal. And really and truly, that's when the context changes. But if we do, let's just say in the scenario that we do that, I think we have more than enough firepower, quality on the pitch to still go and get the win. But hey, I've already predicted us to keep a clean sheet, and at the end, obviously, I'll share my prediction with you if you guys don't already know it. So look, he does talk a bit about Victor Gyokeres. Obviously, at the moment, Victor Gyokeres is kind of the talk of the town, especially online. Everyone and their mum is giving their opinion on it. Oh, hasn't scored in, 6 games, whatever. Oh, only scored 3 goals for Arsenal, yada, yada, yada. Yada, 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 yada. But look, on what Victor Gyokeres gives to the team, he brings so much to the team, and watching the games back, I'm very pleased with what he's given to the team. I told him before the first meeting, I said, the 9 that I want is a 9 that when he doesn't score for 6 or 8 games, he can handle that. If not, you have to go somewhere else because the pressure is gone. The expectation is going to be there. So if you put a number 9 shirt for Arsenal, technically he's the number 14, but it means the same. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to say, okay, 6 games, don't score. I'm a different player. I start to act in a different way. I want much more of the same of what he's doing. Once we have those opportunities, put them in. I'm sure it's going to happen. Basically, yeah, you want to score goals, but in the scenario where you're not scoring goals, do something else for the team. That's essentially what he's saying. Do something else for the team. And anyone that's been watching, without the GA lens on, do you know what I mean? Wow, I didn't expect it to blur like that. Without the GA lens on, you will know that he's actually doing a lot off the ball that's actually helping to give space to other players in the team. Now, a lot of people will say, well, that's what Havertz does. And then you will sit there and you will think, well, that's why Arteta also loves Havertz. This is what Arteta wants from his 9. There was a big kind of discussion about it, and it still kind of goes on a bit today, which is, will Victor Gyokeres adapt to us, or will Arteta adapt to having a natural 9? And I think very early on it's very clear that Victor Gyokeres is going to adapt to us. And look, how he judges Victor's all-round game, well, the first thing is that that's going to give you something extra. Victor has so many things that are probably not that noticeable, but he also creates an environment and space and solutions for a lot of players around him. And with the talent that we have in the team, I'm sure that everybody, including him, will benefit from that. See, it's not just about one solo guy. And obviously, a lot of us thought that, yeah, he's going to come in and he's going to be the guy that just carries us all. But maybe, it's more of a, okay, cool, in certain moments, we need you to step up, Victor. Okay, Victor steps up. And if he doesn't step up, he creates situations and scenarios for other players in the team to step up. So, look, at the end of the day, when it comes to Victor Gyokeres, I do want to see him score more goals, but that's because I want to see him score. I want to see the celebration. You know what I mean? I haven't been able to do that too much this season. That was kind of my thing. You know what I mean? So I'd like to see him score more, but I would be a lot more frustrated if he wasn't scoring but wasn't actually doing anything else, if that makes sense. If he wasn't scoring and, he was moping around the pitch and wasn't running the channels and wasn't bullying defenders and wasn't trying to duel and, wasn't linking up. His link-up play has actually surprised me, and it's got a lot better since he's come here as well. So I'll have to give him that. I think he needs to work on the first touch a bit, because sometimes it does, like, it looks like the ball's bouncing off of steel sometimes, and then he's put himself in a scenario where he has to chase after the ball, and maybe the scenario becomes a bit more favourable to the defender. So if he can just work on that a bit, I think we've got a top striker at the club. And look, finally, I guess at least on from Arteta's press conferences, he was asked about being labelled the favourites, yeah. And I think he said something that was, I found it quite funny, I'll be honest. He goes, I don't know. Then we have to ask how accurate it was, the one 4 weeks ago or 8 weeks ago. So we don't know. I'm sure a result will change that in an even better percentage for us, or worse, depending on what happens. Let's focus on what we can control. And what we can control is focusing on the next training session, focusing on the next game. Let's beat Fulham. Once we beat Fulham, we can just see how those favourite percentages, chances change. But it doesn't really mean anything, does it? Because, 4 weeks ago, nobody's beating Liverpool to the league. They're going to be first all season. They're going to walk it, steamroll, all of that good stuff. Isak's coming in. Havertz is there, all of that stuff, Ekatike, all of that, and I'm top of the league now. So I don't really think it means much. Obviously, there's always going to be favourites labelled. It's just part of football, right? But hey, it is what it is. We don't need to focus on that. Let's focus on winning games. Speaking of winning games, I like to believe I've come up with a formula of what we can do to actually go and win this game. I am pretty confident. I am fairly confident also in the selection that I've done is realistic. I know sometimes I do these and you're probably sitting there thinking, Hooks, man, it's not Football Manager, it's Arteta. He's not going to do that. And I hear it. So I've made this one a little bit more realistic-ish, yeah? But there's some interesting things in there. So let's get into it. So obviously in goal, I've gone with David Raya. I think self-explanatory, doesn't really need an explanation. For me, best goalkeeper in the world on form. Right back, gone Timber. Again, self-explanatory, doesn't really need an explanation. Timber, best right back in the world. Like, just best right back in the world. And if anyone watched the Netherlands game or caught his performances, he did play centre-back and he was a rock. He was moving mad next to Van Dijk. So I know Van Dijk, he's kind of vexed. Oh man, he could have been here. But no, he's over here. You know what I'm saying? So Saliba and Gabriel as my centre-back partnership, I think that's, at this point, if you see anything different, then it's probably just rest or rotation. Sorry, rest and rotation is the same thing, right? Actually, no, you can rotate for tactical reasons. So yeah, rest and rotation, but I expect us to go with this. I was very tempted. I was so tempted to put Hincapie at left back. But I have gone with Calafiori. I think he's one of the players that started off this season top for us. I think he's been one of our better players this season. I'll be real. And what he offers to the team is insane. Like the overloads he creates, there's positions and spaces that he occupies to allow other players to vacate and press forward and be in more dangerous areas, I think is very underrated. He's very hard to track. He makes it hard for other players to track other players on our team. And I call him the hiker. He's just here, there and everywhere trying to visit, the world, innit? So big him up. I think he started off the season very well. I'm still carrying on my agenda of we need a solo 6. So you guessed it, it is a 4-3-3. And I've gone with Zubimendi. This guy's he's just a metronome. To get me, he's just a conductor. Like he's doing so he's actually getting to the point now where he's starting to control games. You can actually see it. He's basically picking up the ball from either David Raya or one of the centre backs and turning on the half turn. What they say, Declan Rice can't do it on the half turn. But Zubimendi, no one's saying that about him. and he's turning around and it's like the world is his oyster and he does everything at his tempo. Like, and I'm not comparing, because obviously Pirlo, he's one of my favourite players of all time, and I think he was one of the best at what he does. But Pirlo was someone that always just played the game at his tempo. He didn't care what was going around him. He was like, no, I want to play like this, so this is how everybody else on the pitch is going to play. And I feel like Zubamendi's slowly getting towards that type of style of football as well. Alongside him, I've gone Mikel Merino. I see Fulham as a good opportunity to rest Declan Rice. I don't think we need him to play in this game. I'd rather bring him on as a substitute, maybe give him, 30 minutes, 35 minutes in the second half, just so his engine's a bit warm. For the Madrid game on Tuesday, I am taking the Champions League game into consideration. Declan Rice did play a lot of minutes for England as well. I know he did I think he got subbed off early against, I think it was both games. Not early, but he didn't play the full 90, but he still did play a lot of minutes. So where we can rest him. I don't think you need to start him against Fulham. And obviously Merino, off the back of some great form, scored a few goals for Spain. So, hey, it's like what Arteta said before. When players are in form, play them. And I think that's literally what it is. And obviously I've gone Eza in the left 8. Again, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Odegaard's not here, so you have to kind of put someone else in there that's kind of creative, does that kind of driving, can be a threat in the box. And obviously, Eza, he got to go on international duty as well, so he's going to start warming into a bit of good form. And you guys know me, I think he's got to be playing every game. And it's just because Odegaard's out, I'm slotting him in here instead of slotting him on the left wing. On the right wing, pretty self-explanatory. Starboy Saka is what it is. And I'll be real, I'll probably even give him the captain's armband. Do you know what I mean? They get me. It is what it is. Hopefully, we start seeing a bit more GA from him as well. It'd be good to start getting his name on things. And obviously, he gets into a bit of form. I put you into my FPL. You know what I mean? At the moment, I got Eza there. But I'm just waiting for Saka to hit that, that sweet spot that Saka hits where it's like, cool, game after game after game, he's getting something. I'm going to dash him back in. On the left-hand side, I've gone for Trossard. I actually think that when Eza plays the left 8 and, well, I say the left 8, left 10, left central area, let's just call it that, Trossard is a very good option to have on the left wing. Especially with Calafiori there as well, because Calafiori is going to be bombing up and down. He can come inside, get into those pockets of spaces, some 1-2s between him and Eza. I think they both understand each other really well, played on that left-hand side. And that left-hand side actually has a lot of balance as well. So I've gone with Trossard instead of Martinelli. I know Martinelli did also have a good international break, but so did Trossard. And I do think that Martinelli coming off the bench does kind of possess like a danger for teams, because then they got to make certain decisions like how much can we really press throughout a game? Because if we're pressing for a good 60-70 minutes, our players gonna get tired, Martinelli's gonna come on and it's long. That just is what it is. And then obviously the big man up top, Victor Gyokeres, again, very easy for me. At this present moment in time, I can't identify anyone else that we would really put up top. Obviously, Jesus is out, Havertz is out. I mean, you could argue having Declan Rice in the left 8, Eza in the right 8, and then Merino up top, but I don't want to see that start. The only time I want to see Merino starting in the 9 is if Victor Gyokeres is injured. I'll be so honest with everybody. But outside of that, I'd rather just dash him in the midfield and then, 70th odd minute, maybe take Gyokeres off, put Merino in the 9, and then just see how that fares for the remainder of the game. But yeah, people, let me know what you think about this lineup. Obviously, in the comments, let me know what lineup you would go as well. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you've made it this far. I mean, if you've made it this far, you might as well like the video and you might as well subscribe as well. So yeah, like I said, very confident for the game. Looking forward to it. I've missed watching Arsenal play football. I won't lie to anybody. But just in general, I've missed like club football. in being honest, like, especially in the Premier League. So happy that it's back. Happy that the Champs is back as well. Not for certain teams though. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I don't know. My prediction, I think I'll go with, do you know what? I'll solidify it. 3-0. I'm going with a 3-0 to the Arsenal. I think we'll be able to keep the clean sheet. I can't really see us being surprised. And yeah, we just keep up the winning ways. So yeah, people, if you made it this far, big you up. And yeah, catch you next time. Peace.